I'm Megan, and I'm a 32-year-old woman. This story revolves around me, my husband Fred, my father-in-law Herman, and my mother-in-law Courtney. A little backstory about Fred and I. We met at a concert. We exchanged contact information, and before we knew it, we were glued to the hip. We got married after a couple of years of dating and have since been living very blissfully. You see, Fred and I get to work from home, so the extra time that we got to spend with each other every day only made our relationship stronger. If there was one thing that could so easily disturb our blissful lives, it was Fred's mum, Courtney. Herman and Courtney's relationship has always been rocky. From what I observed, they often argued and clashed over various issues. It was clear that there was a lot of tension between them, and it had a significant impact on Fred, their son. On the other hand, Fred had a great relationship with his father Herman. They had a strong bond built on trust and understanding. Fred had seen the strain in his parents' relationship and had vowed never to treat his partner that way. We made a conscious effort to be loving and supportive, just as he saw his father being towards him. Whenever Herman came over to our house, Fred's face would light up with joy. They would spend hours talking and laughing, sharing stories and experiences. It was heartwarming to witness their close connection, especially considering the challenges in Herman's marriage. Fred admired his father's strength and resilience, and he cherished the moments they spent together. He was always there for Herman, offering him a safe haven when he needed it the most. Their relationship served as a reminder that love and support can flourish, even in the face of adversity. As for Courtney, I could sense the strain in her relationship with Fred and me. There was a distance between us, and her behaviour towards us often reflected her frustrations with Herman. It was clear that the conflicts in their marriage had taken a toll on their entire family. One night, after a brutal fight with Courtney, Herman sought refuge at our house.
"I'm sorry for coming to you so late at night. I didn't know where else to go." "Dad, don't apologize. You're always welcome here." "What happened? You look upset." "It's your mother, Fred. I found out that she's been chatting with several men online." "Oh God, what, Mum? Are you sure? Why would she do that?" "Oh yeah, I'm more than sure about it. She left her laptop on and needed to get something from the drawer. Lo and behold, right in front of my eyes, I'm staring at a chat room screen. I couldn't resist checking out the chats, and you know what? Curiosity really does kill the cat. I wish I could unsee what I saw there." Oh God, what has she done?" "Wait, forget about her. How are you holding up? Did you confront her?" "Well, when I confronted her, instead of being sorry, she had the audacity to blame me, saying I wasn't providing enough for her." "Oh my goodness, Herman. That's terrible. I can't believe she would do something like that." I'm beyond disgusted by her actions. How could she betray us, betray you like that? You've always been there for her." "It was an intense fight, to say the least. We argued like crazy people, and it's clear that our marriage is falling apart. I just couldn't bear being in the same house with her anymore." "Herman, we're here for you. You don't have to face this alone. Your family. Stay as long as you need, and we'll help you through this difficult time." "Absolutely, Dad. You're not alone in this. We're right here for you." "Thank you guys so much." The next morning, Fred and I decided to take the day off. We wanted to help make the day a good one for Herman, especially since he'd gone through enough. Besides, I knew that Fred was struggling just as much, but was putting on a brave face for his father. I wanted him to have a good time too, so I got up earlier than both of them and prepared breakfast and coffee for the three of us. I greeted them in the morning and got them their meals at the dining table. Just as I was about to sit down and eat with them, my phone buzzed. I looked at the caller ID and it was Courtney. I excused myself to talk to Courtney in private. "Megan, put Herman on the phone right now! I want you to send him back home right now!" "I understand that you're upset considering your marital issues." "That is none of your business! Stop interfering and bring him back home immediately!" "As I was saying, your marital issues are between you and Herman. He needed a safe place to stay and we offered him that. I'm sorry if you feel like I'm interfering, but we're just trying to support him during this difficult time." "How dare you! This is none of your business! You're causing trouble in our marriage!"
I'm not causing trouble. We're simply offering a helping hand to someone we care about. You have no right to get involved in our personal matters. You're just trying to create problems between us. I assure you, that's not what we're doing or what we want to do. We're helping Herman because we care about him. I don't want to keep talking in circles. To put it simply, Herman is free to do whatever he wants, and if he chooses to stay with us, deal with it. You'll regret meddling in our affairs, Megan! I'm sorry you feel that way. I truly hope you both can find a way to work through your issues. Goodbye. Feeling a mix of anger and frustration, I ended the call and joined Fred and Herman in the dining room. I shared the details of the conversation, and Herman apologized for his wife's behavior. Fred quickly reassured Herman that they were sorry he had to go through this, and I assured him that our home was always open to him. Herman gratefully thanked us, and we spent the day trying to lift his spirits, taking him out for a day of fun and laughter. First we went to the mall, where we browsed through stores and even treated ourselves to a little shopping. We could see the weight on Herman's shoulders starting to lift as he enjoyed the simple pleasures of the day. After the mall, we headed to the beach. The warm sand between our toes and the sound of the waves crashing against the shore brought a sense of tranquility. We played games, built sandcastles, and even took a dip in the ocean. Seeing Herman smile and hearing his laughter filled my heart with joy. As the day came to a close, we went out for dinner and drinks. We sat together, sharing stories and reminiscing about happier times. The atmosphere was filled with love and support, and for a moment the worries seemed distant. Finally, we returned home and gathered in the living room to watch some TV, winding down from the eventful day. It was a day filled with simple pleasures and genuine connections, a day that allowed Herman to forget his troubles, if only for a little while. And as we sat together, I couldn't help but feel grateful for the opportunity to bring a ray of sunshine into Herman's life. At that moment, Herman made a surprising declaration.
Fred, Megan, I have something important to discuss with you. I want to gift my estates to you, Fred. What, Dad? I'm not sure I understand. Why would you do that? It's because of your mother. I've suspected her motives for a while now. She wants to keep the properties for herself in case of a divorce. Of course, she doesn't know that these properties are under my name only, but still.
How do you know she wants to divorce you, and that she wants your properties?
I caught her researching the value of one of my properties, and our fights have only gotten worse. That's why I believe she's pushing for a divorce, and I want to avoid a messy legal battle.
Herman, are you sure about this? It's a big decision.
I'm certain. I don't want Courtney to take advantage of me and our assets. By gifting the properties to Fred, we can bypass her claims and ensure a smoother divorce process. I don't know what to say. It's unexpected, but if this is what you think is best, Dad, I'll support you. We're here for you, Herman. We'll stand by your side no matter what. If this is the path you want to take, we'll be with you every step of the way. Thank you, both of you. I appreciate your understanding and support.
Let's go to the register's office tomorrow and get everything in order.
All right. I'm a bit confused, but I trust your judgment.
The next day, Herman and Fred headed to the register's office, unaware of the storm brewing on the horizon. After Herman and Fred had gone to the register's office, there was a knock on our door. I opened it, and there stood Courtney, fuming with anger. She thrust a bunch of papers in my face. What is this all about? Divorce papers? Just give them to Herman and stay out of it, Megan. This is none of your business. Look, I understand you're upset, but I can't help but worry about the choices you're making. Divorce is a serious step and it affects everyone involved. Stop interfering! This is the best decision for me. I deserve to take everything from Herman after all the neglect I've endured. I'm not trying to interfere. I just want to make sure you're fully aware of the consequences. Divorce can have long-lasting effects on everyone's lives. Are you sure this is what you want? Of course! It's time for me to live my best life and get what I deserve. Well, if you're confident in your decision, I won't stand in your way. Just remember that actions have consequences, and sometimes what we think is the best choice can come with unexpected outcomes. Whatever. Just give the papers to Herman and ask to meet me with his lawyer. As I listened to Courtney's dismissive words, a mix of satisfaction and sadness washed over me. I knew that her greed and selfishness would come back to haunt her, but this time there would be no one to console her. The consequences of her actions would be her burden to bear. When Herman and Fred returned, the room filled with excitement. The happy faces and contagious energy spread joy to everyone. They shared the news about transferring the properties, and a feeling of relief washed over us. The heavy burden of uncertainty was finally lifting, and we glimpsed a ray of justice shining through. I couldn't wait to tell them about Courtney's unexpected visit earlier. Laughter erupted as we pieced everything together. Herman's suspicions had been proven right, and we took delight in knowing he had made the right choices to protect himself and Fred. It was a satisfying moment, and we felt a weight lift from our shoulders. Courtney's demands during the divorce proceedings were shocking. She shamelessly insisted on taking a staggering 75% of the marital property. To our dismay, Herman and his lawyer agreed to these unjust terms, leaving us momentarily stunned. Courtney wore a malicious smile, believing she had secured a victory over Herman. However, as Courtney scrutinized the details of what she would receive, her smile vanished into thin air. The realization struck her like a lightning bolt. She would only be granted the house they currently lived in. The other properties that she had assumed were within her grasp were not included. "How dare you hide those properties from me? You think you can just take everything for yourself?"
Please calm down. I didn't hide anything. Those properties were purchased under my name alone. They're separate from the marital assets.
"You're lying! I should have had a share in all of it! This is unfair!"
It's not unfair. You know the truth. We both agreed to keep our assets separate. These properties were never meant to be a part of the marital assets.
You're just trying to cheat me out of what I deserve! I won't stand for this!
Courtney, I'm not cheating you. I followed the legal guidelines and you were aware of our financial agreements.
I'm sorry if this wasn't what you expected, but I have acted within the bounds of our agreements. You'll regret this. I'll make sure you pay for what you've done.
Why don't we try to handle this calmly and rationally, huh? Our divorce is already underway. Threats won't get you anywhere.
You'll see, Herman. I'll make you pay for this betrayal. At that moment, it became evident that Courtney's greed and manipulative tactics had backfired. She had underestimated Herman's careful planning and foresight. While her plan had initially seemed cunning, it had ultimately crumbled in the face of Herman's strategic moves to protect what was rightfully his. You think you can get away with this, Herman? I'll take you to court again. I can assure you that taking Herman to court would not give you what you want. You won't gain anything from it. It's time to move on. Shut up, Megan! I deserve a share in those properties!
No, you don't, Mum. That's why Dad gifted all the properties to me. It was his decision and it's irreversible.
Huh?
I told you won't get anything by taking Herman to court.
How could he do that? I won't let this happen. I'll take you to court, Fred, or I'll influence your father to take it back.
Trying to influence Herman or dragging Fred to court won't change the reality. The gifts were made willingly and legally. It's time to accept the situation and move forward peacefully.
You'll regret this, both of you. I won't give up without a fight.
Mum, it doesn't have to be like this. We can find a way to resolve things amicably. Let's try to have a civil conversation and come to a fair agreement.
Fair agreement? You've both betrayed me. I'll make sure you pay for this.
As Courtney stormed off, leaving behind her frets, fear gripped me. The idea of going to court felt overwhelming, and the thought of a legal battle made my heart race. But deep inside I knew we were on the right side. The gifts were given willingly, and Herman acted within his rights. We had evidence to support our case, and the truth was with us. Even though the future was uncertain, I took comfort in knowing that we had just been honest and fair. We would face whatever challenges came our way, united and confident that justice would prevail. Herman apologized once again for the mess he had dragged us into, but I quickly reassured him that there was no need for apologies. We were a team, standing by him through thick and thin. Instead of dwelling on the past, we needed to focus on the future and build a strong legal defense. Over the next few months, we worked tirelessly to gather evidence against Courtney's claims. We meticulously collected documents, recorded conversations, and sought witness testimonies to expose her true intentions. It was a challenging process, but we were determined to protect Herman's rights and ensure justice prevailed.
We also knew the importance of having a skilled lawyer on our side. We hired a reputable attorney who believed in our case and fought tirelessly on our behalf. They guided us through the legal proceedings, helping us navigate the complexities of the courtroom. The court proceedings were intense, with both sides presenting their arguments and evidence. We stood firm, presenting our case with clarity and conviction. We laid bare Courtney's manipulations and deceit, revealing her true motives for seeking a divorce. The evidence we had collected spoke volumes, painting a clear picture of her intentions to deceive and gain unjust advantages. Finally, the judge delivered their ruling, and it was in Fred's favour. Courtney's face turned red with anger and humiliation. All her schemes and attempts to take advantage of Herman had crumbled before her eyes. She had lost everything she had planned for, including her husband and son. Justice had prevailed, and our unwavering efforts had paid off. Fred's idea for Herman to live in one of the apartments Herman had given him showed their strong bond and love. It was a way to thank Herman and make sure he had a safe and comfortable home. Herman felt grateful and thanked Fred with tears in his eyes, making their father-son connection even stronger. But Courtney's bitterness didn't go away. She continued to harass us, trying to disrupt our lives. This time, we were ready. We knew we had to protect ourselves and keep the peace we worked hard for. So we took action. We got a restraining order against Courtney, which meant she couldn't come near us or bother us anymore. It was important for our safety and to keep the stability we had gained. The restraining order set clear boundaries, showing our determination to protect ourselves and live peacefully. We wanted to move on, leaving behind the trouble Courtney brought into our lives. With the order in place, we finally felt relieved. We knew we had done what was needed to keep ourselves safe from Courtney's harm. It wasn't easy, but it let us focus on building our lives again and nurturing the good relationships we cherished. As time passed, the wounds from Courtney's actions healed. We surrounded ourselves with love, support, and the peaceful life we worked for. We moved forward, leaving behind the chaos and negativity. Our future was brighter as we embraced it together. As the dust settled, we reflected on the journey we had been through. It was a challenging and emotionally draining experience, but we emerged stronger than ever. Our love and support for one another had triumphed over deceit and manipulation.